Nelson Mandela University students were the big winners at the recently held Corobrik Student Architecture Awards. GP Gravenstein and Blake Smith bagged 70,000 Rand each for their projects. Gravenstein won for his thesis titled The Design of a Merino Wool Processing Facility in Berkeley East, Eastern Cape, while Blake sought to create a dignified place for waste pickers to recycle waste within the harsh landscape of the Arlington landfill in Port Elizabeth. Now, the pair join us now via Zoom to tell us more about their winning works. Gentlemen, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you.
All right, GP, I'm going to start with you. When did you first fall in love with architecture, and what was it about this field that drew you in?
Well, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Well, architecture is just this phenomenal framework to actually sculpt on a very big level. You know, we grew up in a farming community where you are allowed to create and dream the whole day. And maybe perhaps there's something out there for us to actually do that as a job one day.
And Blake, for you, what was it about this field that fascinated you?
Well, I grew up drawing. I used to draw cars and just get into any type of design. And it came down to just being in interesting spaces and understanding, okay, there's something intriguing about it, so let's go and study it. And it just developed from there, and it just became what I really love to do.
What's intriguing about it?
It's more about the intangible, the stuff that you can't see that really is interesting, and how you achieve that is the magic behind architecture.
Okay, GP, speak to us about your thesis, the design of a merino wool processing facility in Berkeley East, Eastern Cape.
Well, it was sparked by the concern of our rural towns in the Eastern Cape specific, but I can think in general in all the provinces' towns, they're on slight decay. And I was thinking of maybe introducing something unique as a little catalyst in each and every town, maybe to spark a new economic center. And because this was my town where I grew up in, this place really fascinated me to think about something, how I can get the community involved and how we can actually design something architecturally and think of a very important program that can be like a very cool catalyst into maybe be a spark of hope into these small little towns.
And having said that, have you perhaps done some research into the potential or the economic potential that wool processing may have on this community?
Well, if you go look at that, it is quite arguably the wool center of South Africa. The farmers there process the finest microns, arguably in the world. So the commodity that we have there is so valuable, and it gets shipped away to China or to Germany to be processed there. So there's this massive link that we are just missing with golden opportunities yet.
Now, Blake, take us through your project, which was in Arlington landfill in Port Elizabeth, and what really sparked your interest in it?
Yeah, well, it's one of the older landfills in Nelson Mandela Bay region, and in the beginning of the year, I had an interest in the waste systems within the city itself. But then I came across these individuals while looking at a site the one day, and just having a conversation with them and understanding how industrious and how resilient they are. And I had a personal conversation with one of them, and I thought, well, there's definitely a project in this and something that architecture can confront. Because it's a major issue, and I think how my passion sparked for this was that you know, we've got to start looking after our nation in some way, and if I could do it through architecture, I mean, it was a no-brainer for me.
And what were you trying to achieve with the project, and do you think that you have achieved what you set out to?
it was obviously about a waste issue, achieving some sort of new system that could recycle waste, but it was more about the waste pickers and their personal issue of not having the resources or the protection or the backing by anyone.
Okay.
So the project was centered around the individuals.
Okay. Now, GP, how does architecture assist in modern day challenges?
Well, I think it can assist in creating inclusive spaces. South Africa, if you drive around the whole country, we live in extreme isolated little cells. And I think with good design, architecture can create magnificent spaces outside for communities to actually see each other and be involved into certain projects. I think that's the most important thing architecture as a profession can bring to South Africa, is create these brilliant spaces for people to coexist.
All right, great stuff. Great chatting to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Now, GP Gravenstein from Nelson Mandela University and Blake Smith from the same institution are the winners of the 2019 and 2020 Corobrik Student Architecture Awards.